now is Terry Lynch, the CEO of Power Metallic Mines. Great to see you as always.
Mark, it's always good pleasure
Yeah,
to see you, especially in this beautiful Beaver Creek. Wow,
absolutely.
So gorgeous.
It's my first time here. It's beautiful, and we've had a great time. Full disclosure off the top, I own shares in Power Metallic. Of course, Terry does as well. So you've got this big 100,000 meter drilling program ongoing, and you've got you're drilling the 3 NYSE zones, Lion and Tiger as well. You've got the Moose break coming up. So there's going to be a break for a while, but can you update us on what you've been doing?
Sure. So right now there's 4 rigs turning. Actually, 5th just arrived this week, so we'll start that going. We have 20,000 meters in the till, so to speak, coming through the assay pipeline, shall we say. Next week, I would expect we'll have a major assay release out, and then every few weeks after that, we've basically had a pretty interesting summer. I think our biggest thing this summer that we did was the lift acquisition. It almost quadrupled our land package, and it was interesting while we were going through it. We sort of changed our drilling strategies, drilling some areas that were more exploratory and more sort of as opposed to the low-lying fruit, because the low-lying fruit was much closer to the land we bought. So we didn't want to necessarily give away the bargaining position. So we ended up saving that really great stuff for later. So we'll do the 20,000 meters, probably get to 24 before the end of the break, and then we'll get another 20 plus or so in the second part of the fall season, and we'll be drilling our Primo projects then. So we're super stoked with what we got in front of us.
Great. So the team, one of the things the team is trying to do is connect the NYSE and the Lion zone, and you're saying you're also looking for the beast underneath, i.e. nickel sulfide, and you've also said that the project, could get to as much as 40 million tons, and you've made the Norilsk comparison before.
Yeah, so we're going to do a series of 17 holes to go every 300 meters from Lion Zone to NYSE, and we use 400-meter holes at that point, and they'll all be done with a borehole EM. This has been a technique that's been highly effective for us. That's how we really sort of expanded the Lion Zone, and there's been no false pulses in the area with that. So, when it works, it really works. So it's really working for us. So that will allow us to see completely the entire, 5.5 kilometers. And see what's there. So that's going to be great. So that's really going to happen in the fall season. And then, we've got some theory about where the beast is, and we're testing the beast right now. So we'll see. We know it's down there. There's a great slide on our deck where we talk about with these orthomagmatic discoveries, like NYSE, the other ones like Sakatti or Voisey's Bay or the mother of them all, Norilsk. Each time you find a ton of copper sulfide, you'll find an average of 5 tons of nickel sulfide. And these are rich nickel sulfides. The reason why these orthomagmatic mines are literally the best mines in the world is because they're $500 rock and up. So they're the most profitable, literally better than any gold mine, better than any diamond mine, better than any uranium mine. So they're super profitable because you get high-grade copper, but you'll also get high-grade nickel. So it's like, well, that'll be $500 rock. That's why we don't think NYSE main is the mother. It's not possible for a 1.5% nickel sulfide to produce a 7% copper sulfide. Can't be done.
Right.
So we know it's down there, and we got some thoughts of where it might be, and let's hope we find it.
All right. Testing the beast. We love it. So you've talked about the possibility of listing shares on the New York Stock Exchange. Any updates there?
Yeah, we've sort of sent our last piece of paper in on that just this week, actually. So I would think in 3 or 4 weeks that would be announced. So, and then we'll be trading a couple weeks after that.
Oh, great.
So October.
And so how do you think that's going to help with awareness?
I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot of news coming. This time last year when we came, we had done the financing, the first Freeman financing at 66 cents. We got $1.25, but, we came here, stock was 55. We had done all this work. We thought that was weird, but Canadian markets. And then we went from 55 cents to almost $2, right? And then we had a pile of great results. And then we did the financing at $1.45. And then again, stock went down to $1.
Yeah.
Now it's back around, I don't know what it is today, but around $1.40 or so. So it's almost down back to pre-deal price. And I expect another big rush this fall because we're going to have more great news. I think New York's really going to be helpful because I went down, I did a non-deal roadshow in New York, and I met 10 generalist funds. I was literally the first mining guy they've seen in years.
Really?
and they were like, it came back to the broker, and they said, you know, we want to own. I said, guys, we're not doing funding down here.
Yeah.
I told you that right out of the gate. but it's interesting. The generalists are going to start to come, and I think a number to think about as a, you know, for your audience is that right now New York is 1% mining. At its peak, it was 10% mining.
I heard that from Rob McEwen.
So imagine if it goes to 2%, it doubles. Where the money going to go? It's going to go to the quality projects first. So I think, you know, it's going to be really phenomenal for us, and there's been a lot of good, like Dolly Varden's had a great, you know, run down there as a result of that. I think it'd be a great move for us.
Do you think ultimately the majority of the volume will come from New York?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you've done something really interesting. You're one of the few foreign firms that get an exploration license in Saudi Arabia. And this is my first thought was, and I wonder if other investors are giving you this feedback. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this foray in Saudi Arabia? It's going to be a distraction. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, you know, I think people, you know, that's a normal reaction, I think. And I would say they're right, except for this unique opportunity. So why do we do it? Well, actually, we met them here 2 years ago, and they went through all the great geological features of Saudi Arabia, which are phenomenal. Think of it as Abitibi in the 1940s. So imagine going there, be able to pick up ground and drill with modern technology. So that's the geological opportunity. Still, that wasn't enough. We came back last year, obviously had the success of the Line Zone, and they said, guys, look, we want explorers here. We're not looking to get people land banking. We want people that can move the dial. You guys clearly know how to find stuff and do it properly. You know, if you come down, they said, and bid, and you win the bid, we'll introduce you to the top 5 family offices in Saudi Arabia. And they did. It's between 50 billion and 110 billion.
Wow.
How else are you going to meet those guys? So it's like, you know, we think, you know, we were planting a seed there. It took 5 years for NYSE to become, you know, now it's an oak and hopefully become a forest. We think the same thing could happen in Saudi Arabia. So it was such an outside the box opportunity. We felt we simply had to take it.
And lastly, Terry, and that sounds amazing, by the way. Lastly, you said that the market is still not fully appreciating what you call this jewel box of different metals that you have there, and that a re-rating is coming. Do you think that'll be triggered with all the news flow in the fall?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think that you know, a couple things will be the catalyst for that. I think the move to New York, and I think we're going to get more institutional investment, and I think obviously the assay growth there. I think there's you know, there'll be and then obviously the macro. Look, $3,600 gold is good for everyone. You know, people forget that, you know, the Line Zone is 55% precious metals. So 45% copper and 40% PGEs, 10% gold, 5% silver. So, you know, as precious metals go, that's going to be rocketing for us. So I think it brings more interest to the sector. And there's, in my mind, we're going to have a great fall. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you for the update, Terry.
Great.
Always good to see you.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Enjoyed that. Terry Lynch, the CEO at Power Metallic Mines.